Hello everybody and welcome to another video, a little something I guess different today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna list this as a list video or a discussion video or what, but it is a video about albums and a couple of songs that I think are good to listen to around winter and Christmas time and all of that. Since it is December now, I figured I would do a video like this just to sort of talk about some albums that I like to listen to and albums that I think are good for the season. So first, I suppose I will talk about the two songs along with two albums because those are more Christmas related, whereas all the rest are just sort of winter related, albums for winter, I guess. So I'll start with the two songs. The first one is The Wind by Demon Hunter. This is a song that really has a very wintry vibe to it, both in the sound and in the lyrics, and I really like it. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite songs by Demon Hunter, but it is still a pretty good song. Next up, the second song is The King by Wolves at the Gate. Wolves at the Gate is a band that I really like because they do have a very metalcore, hardcore kind of sound. The lyrics of their songs are basically, they are probably one of the most Christian bands in that music scene right now, just because of the lyrics. And that really is what makes this song specifically, makes this list. Because it talks about sort of the Christmas story, I guess, in a way. Not like literally about the Christmas story, but it does reference it a lot and everything, and it's actually a really good song, just musically. And I also really like the lyrics and everything that Wolves at the Gate does, so of course I like the lyrics in this song as well, and it's actually one of my favorite songs that they've ever done. And it is a single, it's not a part of any album, but it's just really cool, and I really like it. So next up for the first album, we have another one by Wolves at the Gate, which is the Reprise, I think that's how that word is pronounced, I'm pretty sure it is, EP, which is 6 songs, 5 acoustic versions of some of their songs from their albums, and then 1 new song. It's acoustic versions of their songs, and like I explained earlier, their songs have lyrics that are very, Christian-centered lyrics, worship lyrics almost, similar to a band like For Today, if you know For Today. It's probably, I would say that this might be more fitting for like Easter than Christmas, but it still sort of works, I guess. So I just thought I'd throw that one in there. And then the final one that is Christmas related is Sleddon Hill by August Burns Red. I haven't actually listened to this album in its entirety, but I just know it exists and I like some songs from it, so I figured I'd put it on here. As far as I know, this is an instrumental album of August Burns Red performing a bunch of Christmas songs, which I think is pretty cool. And they all sound, at least the ones that I have heard, because I haven't listened to all of them, but the ones that I have heard sound really good. And it's just kind of cool to hear August Burns Red doing something instrumental, I guess. They are very good at their music and really enhance these songs. And yeah, it's a cool album. So now I have several other albums that are more either directly related to winter or just albums that I think fit the sort of mood, which there's only 1 or 2 on here that are like that. There's 2 on here that are really kind of obviously winter albums. So the first one of those is Winter's Gate by Insomnia, and I did a full review of this in my last video, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. But this is a really great album. It's an album that I would consider just about as perfect as an album can get. It is an absolute masterpiece. It is wonderful. It's my favorite album of all time, and it has to do with winter, so of course it's going to be in this video. Go and check it out. That's all I'm going to say about it. It is amazing and fantastic, and you should definitely listen to it. Next up, after that, I have 3 black metal albums, actually, which kind of fits with winter because black metal sort of gives off a wintry vibe in a few bands. I haven't listened to a lot of it, but these bands in particular do. The first album here is At the Heart of Winter by Immortal. And of course it's a wintry album given the name, but it also just has a feel. It feels like a winter album, sort of the vibe it gives off. And it's pretty good. I don't believe I've listened to this one beginning to end. I've heard all the songs on it, but I haven't sat down and listened to all of it beginning to end. But it is a very good album, and many fans of the band would consider it to be one of their best. And I would probably agree with that. And then the second one is another Immortal album titled All Shall Fall. And I pretty much just chose this one because it's another one of their more wintry feeling albums, I guess. And it's really the only other one by them that I have really listened to. I mean, I've listened to several of their others, but just not to the extent of these two albums that I'm talking about. So again, All Shall Fall is a pretty good album. And then the third black metal album is Abath's self-titled album. And it's not really surprising that this is here because Abath is or at least was the vocalist for Immortal. And Immortal and Abath are the only black metal bands I really care for. So, or at least right now, there's a couple others that I might get into at some point just because I think they're kind of cool. But at the moment, those are the only two I like. And this is another really good album. A very good solo album as well. That's really about all I have to say about it. It's very, very good. So go check it out if you're into black metal and all that, as well as the other two. So next I have two more albums that are not really winter related, but just give off that sort of vibe to me. And the first one is the newest August Burns Red album, Phantom Anthem. Now, I have no idea why I get a winter vibe from this album. Maybe it's the song The Frost, along with maybe a couple others, I don't know. But it just feels like a winter album to me. I have no idea why, but it does. Maybe it's also the newness of it, and I've been listening to a lot. It's a fantastic album. I would highly recommend it. It is probably my favorite August Burns Red album. If not, it's easily in the top 2 or 3. It's really, really good. And I will probably review this at some point along with maybe August Burns Red's entire discography at some point. It's very good. I would highly recommend you check it out. And then the final album in this video is Yom's Viking by Amon Amarth, which is Amon Amarth's newest album. Like Winterscape by Insomnia, it is a concept album, and they are also both melodic death metal bands, and they both came out last year. It is a concept album. The songs all tell some sort of story, and it's very good. I really like it. I feel like it's a little underrated actually, because I've seen a few not really videos, but just lists ranking all of their albums, and this one's actually placed towards the bottom, which is something I was surprised about, because it's not really as heavy or intense as their past albums, but I don't think that necessarily means it's worse. Lots of winter vibes here as well. I don't really know why, but I guess it kind of makes sense since it's about Vikings and everything, and they were usually, well, not usually, but when you think of Vikings, you think about snowy landscapes and sort of up in Scandinavia and stuff. At least that's what I think about. I also think about Skyrim, so maybe that has to do with it too. But yeah, it's a really great album, and I would highly recommend that you check it out. So that pretty much wraps up the video, I guess. Let me know what you thought of the albums that I listed in the video, and do you agree with any of them? Do you have any albums that I didn't list here that you think are really great for this season? Let me know in the comments, and all of that, and that pretty much wraps up the video, so I'll see you next time.